Clouds out the crowd with the music up loud, who you want to be. You sleep in the morning, still drinking when it's dawning, it's the life you lead.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Macrocast, your source for news and entertainment with the minds behind Macro Records. We are your hosts. I'm Madsen.
I'm Downlow'd. I can't see anything.
No, none of us can see.
What's going on?
Well, I mean, so some vampires, right? They're trying to blot out the sun, and it's completely gone.
This is a
right
terrible plot line. You're not a very good liar, are you? Let's tell the good folks at home what's actually going on with us right now.
Oh, well, we unfortunately experienced some technical difficulties today, and we were not able to set up...
We don't know what happened.
No, so you're not going to be able to see us on video today, or my computer, unfortunately.
So you've got nothing to watch this week. You got plenty to listen to.
Because I specifically had some things that they only would have worked on video, you know? I mean, they would have worked with our commentary on audio, but without the ability for someone to go watch it in video, it would be kind of stupid.
Well, so we're not going to be able to talk about it now?
Well, okay. So the first thing that I was going to show is...
Wait, do we have... Oh, I guess we don't have a track this week.
It's going to be... I picked out a track. I just can't remember which one it is.
All right, great.
You'll hear some sort of track.
Okay, perfect. So I guess we'll just move on.
Yeah. So... The guys from Bad Lip Reading, are you familiar with them on YouTube? They had put up a new video yesterday, and it's called Redneck Avengers Tulsa Nights.
Nice.
And I had planned on us watching it and getting our reactions from it, but unfortunately, with all the technical difficulties, it kind of doesn't make sense to do it now.
It's so bizarre.
So maybe...
I can't believe that happened this week. That's so weird.
Hopefully we can get to it next week. That would be awesome.
Okay.
So... next up, we were gonna talk Suicide Squad.
Okay, let's talk about
it. It sucks that you guys can't see what's going on, but we'll.
Well, I can't see it either, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Alex is the only person who can see anything.
Well, basically,
you could actually turn the computer if you want.
We were just gonna go over the cast.
Is your computer plugged in?
No.
Okay.
Is power?
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
So you're gonna at some point freak out. Your computer's gonna say, "I need power."
No, it's got plenty of power.
Okay.
Let's go over the cast again.
I've got the power!
For Suicide Squad. So Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
She looks good.
Will Smith as Deadshot.
Whatever.
Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag. Who's Rick Flag?
Rick Flag works for Argus.
Okay.
And he's like Amanda Waller's main dude. He's Colonel... Okay, so he's like... I'm pretty sure he's Wonder Woman's...
No, that's Steve Trevor, dude.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Rick Flag is, he just works for, he's the head of the Suicide Squad, right?
Oh, really?
He, keeps them all in line.
Okay, that's cool.
I don't think that we've seen any iteration of that on, Arrow.
Animated. I don't think I've even seen him in animated stuff either.
Wasn't he in Assault on Arkham, or not even? Because this movie is definitely going to have something to do with the Assault on Arkham storyline.
Yeah, well... I mean, if
the Joker is going to play a part in it, it just doesn't.
And Batman.
Yeah, Batman's going to be in it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Joel Kinnaman, who's playing Rick Flag, he's kind of like a breakout actor on the scene. He's relatively new to Hollywood. The last thing he was in was the RoboCop reboot. He played RoboCop. Did you ever see it?
No.
It actually wasn't bad.
I heard it was not good.
No.
The Judge Dredd reboot was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
That was Carl Urban, though, so that was bound to be good.
I thought it was Keith Urban.
It's a country musical.
Keith Urban is Judge Dredd.
Here, wait. Now I need to know what the RoboCop reboot scored on Rotten Tomatoes. I saw that movie, and it wasn't, great, but it wasn't bad either.
I'll give it a chance. They should have made a new one called Bobo-Cop about a clown. That's a cop.
Well, it could be like
clown cops.
A killer clown too.
On that topic, I don't want to diverge too much, but I would love to see a Twisted Metal movie. I think we may have talked about this before, but did you ever play Twisted Metal as a kid?
Of course, man.
Like, do you remember playing Twisted Metal Black and they had all of those like crazy fucked up storylines or whatever?
Yeah, those games were awesome.
It was like terrible voice acting, but I think if Hollywood...
Well, I don't think it was terrible. It was like purposely cheesy. You know?
The stories... Well, Black was pretty dark, but the stories weren't even very good, like in retrospect when you look back. But I think
was the gameplay that made those games fun.
I think that Hollywood could do something cool with it, though.
Maybe.
Yeah, why
Would you
not?
spend money to go see that in theaters, though?
I mean, if they get a really good writer behind it and a good director and have a good cast, why not? Like, I mean, in all theory, Mad Max, Mad Max Fury Road shouldn't work, but it does. Everyone loves it.
Resounding 98% from critics. Like 98% of critics love that.
Well,
movie,
that just I have to go see it now. I mean, it's not even is it 98% of critics and users as well, right?
No, I don't know what the user score. RoboCop, the reboot got 50%, 49%. Which I mean, in retrospect, it's higher than both RoboCop sequels, RoboCop 2 and 3.
It got what? What was the score again?
49%. Which isn't a terrible score.
Might as well. Well, I mean, isn't that what fucking? I guess Tomorrowland has a higher score than that.
Okay. Let's put this in perspective for people. A score of 49% means 49% of the critics liked it.
Right.
So the critics were pretty split on it. If the score kind of dips down into the low 40s or 30s and 20s, that's when it's probably not a very good movie.
Critic score for Mad Max is 98%, and user score is 92%.
Wow.
The critics had more fun than the users, but the users still had a good time. That's really rare to see that.
Yeah, totally. Just to put this in perspective, RoboCop 2 scored 32%, and RoboCop 3 scored 3%. Dude, my uncle was watching some movie. It was like a week ago. We stopped by his house, and he was watching some movie. And he was like, yeah, this movie's so great, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what is this fucking movie? And so I looked it up, and it had 3% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What was
it? It was something about blackjack, or gambling, or some shit. I don't know.
Was it that movie with Kevin Spacey?
No, that was 21, which didn't score well either, but...
Did you watch?
I've seen it. It's not terrible.
What's that movie with Isla Fisher and Jesse Eisenberg? And it's called Now You See It.
Oh, Now You See Me.
Or Now You See Me.
I haven't watched that yet, but it's on my DVR actually.
It was really good, man.
Oh, really?
I mean,
they're making a sequel, no?
Yeah, they are. Okay, and this is a movie that got 50% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, but let me see, 71% user score.
Yeah.
So, who knows? If it's got 71% user score, I really enjoyed that movie.
Well, the cast was awesome in that movie. Like, you have Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson again,
and Morgan Freeman, and Gene Hackman.
And Common, and Mark Ruffalo. Like, that's
and
a solid cast.
Yeah. That was a fun movie.
Yeah,
it's
on my DVR, so I'm definitely going to get to that at some point.
I think you'll enjoy it. It's a popcorn flick,
Real quick, I watched the Transformers movie, the most recent one.
I heard it was awful.
Terrible. It's terrible. The coolest parts about it, obviously, are the Michael Bay action scenes, explosions. And,
Michael Bay kind of ruined the movie, though, from what I hear. He's just taking it over the edge and made it. I don't know. So this is the fourth Transformers, right?
Yes.
The third one was not good either.
Well, I mean, at least the third one didn't have...
None of those movies are good. When you think about it.
Okay, yeah, the first one was not terrible. The first one was okay, but then the second one and the third one were both shite. And, I mean, this fourth one...
This is Age of Extinction, right?
Honestly, the performance from Mark Wahlberg is fucking pitiful in that movie.
Why?
It is pitiful, man.
They got a 52% user score.
Mark Wahlberg plays an inventor... Okay. And he's like, but I gotta invent the next thing. Oh man, it's so not believable.
Dude, Transformers 5.
No.
It's happening.
No, why?
It's happening, dude. So there's Transformers 5 scheduled for 2017. Then there's going to be a Transformers G.I. Joe crossover, I guess.
You know what I hated most about it? Is a lot of the Transformers that I that are some of the coolest ones were gone. Like, at the beginning, Ratchet dies at the beginning of the movie, and I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
Okay, Bumblebee is dead too, right?
No, he's alive.
And Optimus Prime is alive.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'm just gonna spoil the shit out of this
I don't
movie.
think that anyone really cares. Like,
yeah.
just let throw this movie to the fucking burner. Let's talk about it.
So, like, the whole thing starts with Mark Wahlberg, right? And T.J. Miller from Silicon Valley and other things.
He's in Transformers?
Yeah.
What does he do?
Well, he dies halfway through.
Oh.
He's Mark Wahlberg's friend.
Okay.
Or, like, employee. He works for Mark Wahlberg.
Is he, like, funny?
A little bit, but it's like...
He's not like...
He was totally typecast into that role.
Oh, okay.
But... So they're, like, friends or whatever, and Mark Wahlberg is like, oh, he makes him pay for this 18-wheeler they found, like...
Which is what? An 18-wheeler is like $500,000, isn't it?
The whole thing is, like, this is the recovery from the Battle of Chicago, which is, like... You know, that's what happened in the previous movie, and, like, everyone's pissed off, and they want the Autobots to leave, and... Kelsey Grammer is like the bad guy almost.
It's so ridiculous.
This movie is a joke.
Wait.
So Mark Wahlberg finds this 18-wheeler, right? And it turns out being Optimus Prime and whatever. And Kelsey Grammer is like, he's a total xenophobe, right? And he's hunting down Autobots, you know? And Deadlock, I think is his name. Deadlock is like... He's a Transformer, but he's neither Autobot nor Decepticon. And he's, like, hunting... It is so stupid, man.
Wait, okay, so Hugo Weaving was in the first three.
He's the voice of Optimus Prime, I think.
What?
Or, yeah, I think so, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so go on. What else happens?
Wait, is he, though?
I'm looking it up right now, I'll tell you.
So, basically, it's like Mark Wahlberg and his daughter... God, I can't even get over how terrible the movie is. Literally the coolest parts are like Dinobots and shit.
Dude, Hugo Weaving is Megatron.
Oh, he's Megatron. Okay, yeah.
That guy must be so fucking loaded from all of the movies that he's like starred in. He's got a major role in Transformers, which is a $3.5 billion grossing series. He's been in Lord of the Rings, which is humongous.
Yeah.
And he was in The Matrix.
The Matrix, yeah.
Which is huge, too. I mean, that guy must just be so paid.
Stanley Tucci was also in it, and he was like... the morally ambiguous guy. He's like, I don't know, man. This movie is just...
What was it called? Transformers... okay.
Age of Extinction.
Okay, and also Hugo Weaving is in Captain America.
Yeah, he was Red Skull.
That guy is so fucking paid, man.
Yeah. He's awesome. He's a great actor.
So, he was not in... So Megatron wasn't in this one?
No. Like, Megatron... They did, like, a whole Brainiac-esque thing with Megatron, like... Oh, a portion of Megatron's programming survived, and the government was building new Transformers, like, even more advanced, and Megatron's consciousness made it into one of them, and what was his name? He's like...
How did you
Galvatron. He's like, I am Galvatron!
How did you sit through this whole fucking
I put it
movie?
on when I was ready to go to bed.
Imagine Dragons did the soundtrack for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. Linkin Park did the soundtrack for the second one, which is really dumb. But I kind of actually enjoyed that too. Like, it was like...
Honestly, man, I enjoyed the first three more than this one.
The budget for all the Transformers films is $755 million.
Jeez, that's a lot of money, man.
That's more money than most people will ever see in their lives. That's crazy. That's more money than most billionaires.
Okay, sorry, we kind of got off track. Let's get back to Suicide Squad.
Okay, great.
So
why did we start talking about this in the first place?
We were talking about movies. That's cool. Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang.
He looks like a thug though, and I don't like that. Like, I like Captain Boomerang to be like what's his name?
Shit. I said it the other day. I was like, is it
Digger? It's Digger
Harkness.
Digger Harkness. Yeah. I like to see him as like more of a refined like assassin.
You know,
I liked him in Arrow.
Yeah, because it was played by... I can't remember
He's
his
that
name.
dude who's in Person of Interest and Spartacus.
His major role was in Spartacus as the Syrian. And, but yeah, he was really good as Captain Boomerang. I mean, I'm not gonna lay out any judgments for this movie yet, but
I just think
I'm
that
hopeful.
Okay, hopefully that the actors redeem all of the fucking costume like
Badness.
faux pas that have already happened. Like, I don't know. Apparently, so the Joker is not going to have damage on his forehead or whatever.
But he is.
Yeah, oh yeah,
We'll get to that in a minute.
But
Jay Hernandez,
because I'm damaged, you know, because my mom's gonna be so mad at me.
Jay Hernandez as El Diablo.
That he looks cool. I don't have a problem with him. El Diablo, like in a classical sense, should look more like a matador, I guess. But he's, I mean,
It wouldn't translate well.
Yeah,
on
it just
screen.
it just makes sense for him to be like some sort of street gang thug.
I keep hoping we'll see Vigilante in the Arrowverse, but I'm like, I want him to have his classic comic book look, but I don't think it would translate well to TV.
Isn't Onomatopoeia also an Arrow villain, a Green Arrow villain? But that probably wouldn't translate either. He's like the villain that's like bam and like, you know.
Yeah.
But he's badass.
Yeah, well, Vigilante is an awesome hero, man. But I don't know.
Okay, so we had this conversation about Wilbert had been talking about the comic book thing for the we had gotten to some conversation about the villains in Flash, and he was like, I don't really like the villains. He was like, I think the villains are lame or whatever. And I was like, dude,
Those
like,
are Flash villains.
yeah, but I don't think that they're lame. Like, I think that the DC universe has everything like so well planned out. Like, the Flash villains are supposed to be more of the lighthearted ones, and then you have like Grodd, who is totally apeshit crazy. You know,
Well, I mean, okay,
Grodd is a threat, man.
Yeah.
Like, for the Justice League, even.
Barry, he's got his rogues, which is like, Captain Cold and Heat
Trickster.
and Trickster and Golden Glider and all those people. Well, okay, like Captain Cold, he's got somewhat of a conscience. He has
a conscience.
He doesn't want to kill people. He wants,
He wants to make
rob
money.
people.
He wants to make he wants to make money.
Exactly, but someone like Reverse Flash is after only destruction and death.
He wants to destroy Barry no matter what the cost.
Yeah.
And I guess he wants to like harness all the speed power for himself too.
And Gorilla Grodd is probably, next to Reverse Flash,
His most sinister villain.
yeah, because Grodd thinks of humans as like despicable peons,
Subspecies.
Yeah,
almost.
he would be happy if the entire Earth was destroyed.
But
and it was
okay, so wasn't he like one of the guys who formed the Legion of Doom with like Lex Luthor and?
You're talking about like in the canon.
Yeah, well, I guess in the Justice League TV show at least.
Oh yeah,
And
he's always
JLU.
been a member of the.
It was like the Injustice League, or it was the Legion of Doom, or something like that.
He's always been a part of the Legion of Doom.
So when the what was it? The Injustice League showed up in the actual comics. Grodd was also recruited with like all of the other villains and like.
I feel like that happens a lot with these secret societies of supervillains.
That's what it was. That's Grodd's thing, is the secret society of supervillains, I think.
No, his thing is Legion of Doom. I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
he was the head of the Legion of Doom.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you read what was it? That was Injustice League and Forever Evil, right? And they're like the Penguin was like, I bet the Joker's around here, like hanging out around here doing something, but we wouldn't be able to recognize him because he doesn't have his face. I thought that was a really cool like plug in with what's going on and like or I think that happened after Death of the Family.
Yeah.
I'm not sure though. I don't know. Maybe you guys can post in comments or something. Anyway, I'm sorry. So back to Suicide Squad.
God, I'm gonna butcher this poor guy's name. Adewale Akinwumi.
He's from
Agabje.
We just call him Mr. Eco from Lost.
Okay, Mr. Eco
Yeah.
as Killer Croc.
Yeah, I don't like the way that Croc looks, man.
He's too short.
He's too short. I mean, it's okay that he looks like a guy with bad skin disease, but he should have been like way taller. Croc is supposed to be gigantic.
He should have at least been like Andre the Giant size,
or
8 feet tall.
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah, that would have been gnarly. Because Croc is gnarly, dude.
I mean, if they
I've said gnarly so many times,
if
but
they can make Vin Diesel as tall enough to be Groot, why can't this guy be tall enough to be Killer
if they
Croc?
can make the like what's his name, Robbie whatever, look like Hagrid, supposed to be like 12 feet tall.
yeah.
Like, why the fuck can they not do this? You know, I mean, they could have put him on stilts.
Lizard
Or something.
Harry.
Yeah, I'm a what? They should have made. I don't know. Croc could have looked more like a Croc.
Yeah.
They could have used. I mean, CGI is so good now. Like, why do they have to be like? This is the one part of the fucking story where they're going to be like, we're not going to use it.
We're using practical effects.
Yeah, that doesn't. It just doesn't make any sense. And also,
Adam
like
Beach as Slipknot. Who's Slipknot?
Slipknot's an assassin.
Okay, and he's a member of the Suicide Squad?
My money says that Slipknot, El Diablo, and someone else are going to die in, like, the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
Like, they're going to just get taken out.
Yeah.
Like, the Suicides, like, one of them for sure is going to be like, screw this, I'm not going to do this.
And then Waller's going to blow their head off.
Yeah, it's going to be Slipknot. Dude, it can't be Killer Croc, though.
No,
I wish instead of Killer Croc, they would have had Killer Shark.
Yeah, like, that'd be crazy.
But the thing is, they haven't introduced Aquaman or Green Lantern yet. So
it's kind of like...
I mean, Killer Croc is an Aquaman and Green Lantern villain. So how are they going to, you know?
Totally.
But Killer Croc is way more...
It could have...
Killer Shark.
He could have just been in the Suicide Squad, and they could like
introduce him.
Yeah,
like why not?
And then he could tell his story about like his conflicts with Aquaman and whatnot.
Well, or it doesn't even have to. Like, why do they even have to say anything about it?
No, yeah, but they could allude to it. He could show his disdain for Aquaman.
So apparently, he got his powers from being like close to some meteorite. Like he got his powers the same way that Hector Hammond got his powers.
Okay.
So he was like a mentally enhanced shark, and his body was like transformed by the radiation from the meteorite, whereas Hector Hammond was like transformed to a human being way in the future, but his body couldn't handle it, so his head got huge.
Yeah.
And now he's like basically reduced to what am I trying to say? He's like a vegetative state or whatever, but he's got these crazy telepathic powers. So Killer Shark is telepathic as well. But he's also like humongous. In the Green Lantern canon that I just read, or storyline rather, he was like eating people. So Hal had to stop him.
Yeah.
So it was kind of
obviously you can't be eating people, bro.
Yeah, right.
Karen Fukushara as Katana.
Okay, that's cool. She has like
good.
the best costume out of all of them. I think Enchantress looks really dope too.
I didn't know Enchantress. Why is she even in this?
I don't know.
She's a member of the Suicide Squad?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but there have been so many different members of the Suicide Squad from time to time.
Okay, well, my problem with that though is like she's one of the most powerful magical beings on the planet.
She's not necessarily a villain either.
No,
like
she's a good guy.
She's worked with like Justice League Dark.
She's part of Justice League Dark.
Yeah.
But I feel like
she's hot. She's got like a weird kind of like Yolandi thing.
It's played by Cara Delevingne.
Like what if they kill her in like the first like 30
That would
minutes?
be so dumb.
Like why would they? I don't know.
Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. We're all cool with that one.
Dude, CCH Pounder.
Jared Leto as the Joker. Ben Affleck as Batman. We all know this, and that's pretty much some of the cast. The other Suicide Squad thing we were going to talk about. There's really no point to it now because there's no video. So they were filming a chase scene with the Joker chasing Harley as Harleen. Like people are speculating that it might be a flashback as to like when she met the Joker or something because she's not in costume. She looks like a regular person. And like Joker's chasing her. First off, Joker's driving like a chromed out purple Lambo. I don't understand. The Joker would never drive such a car. But anyway, she's on a motorcycle and he's chasing her, and eventually, like, they pull over and like he's talking to her, and then he punches her in the face. That's all that happened. I wanted to show the video too, but it got blocked on copyright grounds everywhere. Literally, it cannot be watched anymore. It's gone.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I mean, there's these small little vines. You guys obviously can't see, but that's pretty much it. I don't know.
So I just want to talk about like the current lineup for the Suicide Squad really quick. And I think it's like right now they have like a super OP lineup. I think it's like Bane,
we've talked about this.
Black Hand, Poison Ivy, Cheetah, and I don't know, someone else. I don't know, but I would have liked to see something. Well, obviously, I think Vixen's on it too. They can't do that for the screen right now, though. Wait, this can't be current. Blockbuster, Multiplex, Jakuli, Mindboggler, Harkness, Vixen, and Deadshot? No, that's not current. No,
that's not current.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, I think that The Joker would never drive a Lamborghini. I just have like
Much
so many
less like a purple chrome Lamborghini.
Yeah, like I have so many reservations about this movie. Like I have like, you know,
They're like, the Joker's color is purple. Let's
feel
put
like-
him in a purple Lambo.
who's the guy who's directing this?
David Ayer.
I feel like that guy never has read like any Batman comics ever.
Or any
Suicide Squad. I think he's basically like, okay, we're just gonna make this like he's gonna be driving like a Lambo because that's cool.
And like he gets out and he's wearing a flashy suit and he's got damaged on his forehead.
Yeah, because he's damaged, you know, and you know his color's like purple because I've seen the Joker before, right? Let's make the Lambo purple.
But you know what pisses me off is like they're totally milking those tattoos. Like we discussed, maybe they're not going to play a huge role, but it's like the suit he's wearing is like open. He looks like an Italian mobster.
Yeah,
it looks so fucking dumb.
They're gonna make it like they're being like, dude, this is gonna be like Bad Boys, but with
the Joker
DC characters.
Honestly, man, I'll reserve my judgment, my full-on judgment, until after I've seen this movie, but I am not hopeful.
Dude, this is not the way that you fucking build a franchise, though. I mean, do you think that Jeff or Jim or someone like at DC would be like, hey, listen, like, sorry, dude, I know that you're the director and whatnot, but you know, you can't do this to the fucking characters.
And okay, I hate to do this.
Harley
I hate
even
to
looks
compare
kinda dumb.
DC to Marvel, but it's like the one thing that Marvel is doing right compared to DC is they're fucking true to their characters. They're not.
Yeah.
Marvel's not afraid to put Captain America in a spangly outfit just because it looks stupid.
It's supposed to look proper. I mean, they update the outfit so it looks good for the screen, but it's true to the original costume.
Totally, and I feel like all the characters are true to the source
Also,
material.
I kind of like that Marvel is like, okay, we're gonna cast these guys like these big names as these characters.
Yeah.
You know, like we're not going to change it up. Like, you know, Tony Stark is Robert Downey Jr. You know, it's what's his name? Chris Evans is fucking Captain America. What's his name is Thor? Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, I mean these are like larger than life people.
Yeah.
You know, these guys, everyone in Suicide Squad is like a fucking TV actor except for
Leto and Affleck.
And Margot Robbie was in Wolf of Wall Street.
And Viola Davis, I think she's not a TV actress.
But the rest of these people are basically unknown. So it's like, why are you doing this? And then
But see, that's not my problem with it.
Harley's shirt says Daddy's Little Monster. It's like,
her
okay,
hair
she's
is-
been shopping at Hot Topic or some shit.
Well, both of them have. Like, what the fuck is going on?
The Joker?
Like, Joker got his ears pierced at Hot Topic or some shit.
Are his ears pierced?
No, I don't know.
Oh my god, dude. Could you imagine if that would be like the worst? He has like
bling? Like he's got full-on bling.
Like that, how is that even a menacing character for Batman? Like the Joker is he's so plain too. Like in the comics, you know, he's basically just like he's transformed by the whole.
Honestly, up until Death of the Family, it was never really about the way that Joker looks. Joker is always, it's the things he says and the way he acts that scares people, not the way he looks.
The stunts that he pulls. But I mean, he's had a standard look for basically the entirety of his existence.
Well, I mean, it changes a little bit, but it never went as far as to when the people, actually making the comic books were like, hey, let's put Joker in a fucking trashy suit and give him tattoos. Like,
and make him a crime boss.
Yeah.
Even though, the Joker is a crime lord, but it's like,
not in the
people work for the
traditional
Joker
sense.
because they're scared shitless. Like
or they're like enamored with him. you know?
Okay, so was it in Endgame where like that guy was working for the Joker and he was like, man, I should go back to working for the Penguin, and the Joker overhears him and fucking kills him. And the other guy's like, okay, yeah, I love working for you, man.
Well, yeah, because the Penguin, he's not. I mean, he's
Penguin's
not
all about money.
He's not sane, but he's definitely not Joker crazy.
I kind of feel like the way that they're making the Joker look is more appropriate for someone like Two-Face or the Penguin.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
yeah, I
or
totally agree with that.
Black Mask. That's who, because dude, like fucking Roman. I feel like Roman Sionis is a total gangster.
Yeah,
and he would wear a flashy suit. He would have the tattoos. He would have.
He does. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Like,
Either way.
and he's a formidable opponent for Batman, but the Joker is just unhinged.
Yeah.
Like, why would they even? I don't know. You guys, like, David,
What makes me sad?
read some fucking comics, David.
What makes me sad is when the casting was announced for Joker and it was Jared Leto. I was genuinely excited because that guy's got some serious acting chops. You know, like he is not a second-rate actor by any means. So, I was hopeful that would. I still am. I think whatever performance he gives is going to be pretty good, but the whole look of him is going to throw me off, probably.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that they've ruined the Joker. Like, I wasn't a huge fan of the Joker in the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns series where it was played by Michael Emerson.
Uh-huh.
But, like, that's not nearly as pivotal
Still
of a
more
performance.
true to the character.
But it's not nearly as important a performance as his performance in Suicide Squad is going to be, and the way that these characters are portrayed. Because look at how Marvel did everything right with their movies, and that's why they're making billions of dollars like per movie. And people are like, yeah, like this is something badass. But if they fuck this up, people are going to think, oh, the Joker's lame.
It's definitely
like, how are you
throw a fucking a wrench.
Oh,
into the whole
Harley
thing.
Quinn is lame. Like, Harley Quinn's amazing. All of those characters are amazing. And
I think
downplay Killer Croc as a guy with just some sort of skin disease, like they've developed that character from something like that into something amazing in the comics. Like, why not just pick up?
What's most scary is like this is where we're jumping off from. Like Batman versus Superman better be fucking incredible, because I have a feeling most other people who aren't seriously committed to DC are going to be like, you know what? Suicide Squad sucked. I don't want to go see another DC movie.
Yeah, totally. I feel like, okay, well, let's be honest, too. Everyone who watches these movies is going to be comparing them to the Marvel movies.
Oh, yeah.
So they better fucking step
Especially the
up.
Marvel fanboys.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's going to be, like, tenfold. There's gonna be so much hate for DC after that, and like people won't have any incentive to read the comics and actually like understand what.
Well, and studios aren't going to want to put more money into that shit, man. Like,
at least DC is dominating television, though.
True, very true.
I mean, I actually have started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., though, guys.
Speaking of DC on television, last week we watched the trailer for Supergirl, right? It's already the first. The pilot episode was leaked onto torrent sites today.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
No.
I thought it was leaked like 2 days ago.
Oh, okay, 2 days ago. Yeah.
Okay, so I might check it out. When is that? What we have to watch in the interim between now and Legends of Tomorrow? Mm-mm. When is that even supposed to air?
It starts in November.
Supergirl starts in November.
Yeah, it was going to be along the same. So like. All at once, it's going to be Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, everything right at once.
Why doesn't, like, the one thing that CW fucked up on is, like, they didn't give us anything to watch in this period of time.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That doesn't really bother me. Like, most shows...
What happened to the Vixen show?
Most shows have a summer lull, man. Like,
yeah, no, but I mean, don't you think that they could have done some other show that's, like...
One really cool thing that I liked, this is, like, kind of going back to Marvel... But like when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. went on break for Christmas, they had Agent Carter in the interim. And like, okay, Agent Carter may not be as,
I actually am, okay, so I said it would never happen, but I started catching up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I might check out Agent Carter after this, just to watch, just have something to watch,
It's not bad. I mean, I
actually like her appearances with what are they called?
The Howling Commandos?
The Howling Commandos. I like those guys on screen.
They're awesome.
They're
and
cool.
Dum Dum Dugan, like, he's the shit, man. I don't know.
She's a badass.
Yeah.
She kind of gets like more opportunity to play her character out on the TV screen. You know what I mean?
We're going to come back to Agent Carter, so let's...
Agent Carter?
Oh, God, I was going to play this too, but since we can't really play it...
So if you guys... Tell me what your comments are on Raisins of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So we're going to talk about the Flash season finale a little bit, and...
It was incredible.
It honestly...
That's like a score of 99 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It was rated 9.9 on IMDb, too. So literally almost everyone who watched it loved it. There might be a couple spoilers, so fast forward a couple minutes if you don't want to hear what we're talking about. But in this scene, when Barry is, trying to run up to Mach 2 or whatever, and he finally enters the Speed Force, we get a glimpse into some of what is to come on the future of Flash. I don't know if you caught all of them, but...
I caught them all.
Yeah.
There were only 5. or 4 of them.
So, let's... Come on.
They're right here.
Okay, so this is past.
Well, we just jumped past it, but there was Killer Frost for a second.
What do you think about that?
I think it's cool, but I think that so many people are going to be like, "Why is it Elsa from Frozen?"
Especially since she doesn't have like the blue skin and like blue hair.
Yeah, I would like to see Killer Frost with like pure blue.
We're not going to see that, but
maybe as time goes on.
I get what you're saying though. Like if you look at her, like the blonde hair and the frost coming out of the hands, people are totally going to be like, "Oh, it's Elsa."
That's Frozen.
Let it go. Yeah,
and also because Danielle Panabaker, that is a Disney kid too.
She's a Disney kid?
She was in like some Disney show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The other vision that Barry saw while in the Speed Force was of the Flash Museum,
which looked dope.
It did look really good, man.
And he's like, maybe I shouldn't change the future.
Well, okay, for those of you who know, the Flash Museum is a big deal with the Flash. It always has been.
Flash is a big deal in the future.
Well, yeah, and the people of Central City love him. He's one of the few heroes where everyone fucking loves him, you know?
Even Superman gets flack.
Like, of course, dude.
Like, but
he's
Flash,
an alien. He gets tons of flack.
The Flash never he doesn't have massively destructive battles. Yeah. Every time Superman fights someone, it's like millions of dollars in damage. Yeah. So I mean, Batman is just hated because he's I don't know. Everyone's so different. Like I
think Batman is hated because like he instills fear.
Right, totally.
You know?
But he kind of has to. Like I mentioned, we talked about the Flash Rogues earlier and why they're cool because they're kind of more lighthearted. But then you have like the villains of Gotham are all like very few are actually superpowered, but they're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's why Arkham Asylum is in Gotham. There's no other asylums. Like there's Arkham Asylum and then Blackgate.
Yeah,
and those are like two of the most hardcore prisons.
And then like all the other cities, like Bel Rev is just meant to house super powered people.
Yeah,
and what's the one in Central City?
That's the wait, okay, so that's the one where Barry's dad is like locked up at, right?
Which isn't like a super hardcore prison either.
No, they put people like Captain Cold in there.
Yeah,
I mean, and they always break out, but they talk about Arkham Asylum in Endgame, and they say like. What did they say? Like the most amount of time anyone ever spends in there is like a month and a half. They always break out. Yeah, they always find a way to get out. And the Riddler was like, I know 10 different ways to get out of the cell. Anyway, okay. So what was the other thing that we saw? Barry in prison.
Yeah. So what's the deal with that?
Iron Heights is the name of the prison.
Iron Heights. Yeah. Yes. That's in Star City though.
Yeah, but that's where Arrow sends his people to.
Yeah.
Arrow villains are all like assassins.
Yeah.
I mean, like who are his main villains? There's like Merlin.
Merlin and Dark Archer are like number one for him.
Yeah, and then there's what the fuck is her? There's that other chick who's like I don't know. They're all just assassins. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat.
Yeah.
Anyway, but they get sent to Iron Heights as well, I guess.
So I mean, what's the deal with this though? Is Reverse Flash going to come back and, plant evidence on Barry to make it look like he committed some sort of crime or something?
I think that we have, I don't know, it would be kind of lame if they just brought Reverse Flash back as the main villain again.
They won't. I hope they don't.
Like, I would like to see Reverse Flash again in the next season. Yeah. Like, maybe planning up to some huge, crazy arc in Season 3.
If Season 2 ended with him, like, coming back, I would be okay with that.
Or I mean, what if he's like working to build up something like a I don't know, like a secret society?
Yeah, and then that's what I'm saying.
That almost happened this season.
Like if it worked, if Season 2 was him like in the backgrounds working on that shit, and Season 2 ends with them like coming out into the light,
together,
you know, like
we already know that the Rogues aren't going to have as much of without it's not going to be Captain Cold and Heatwave at least. We're not going to see proper Rogues in Flash for a minute, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of bugged me most about having Captain Cold and Heatwave in Legends of Tomorrow.
I don't mind Captain Cold being in it. He's got a conscience, but why Heatwave?
But he leads the Rogues, man. Like before he decides, like, oh, I want to be good. Like
he never decides that. He works for Lex, and he's like, hey, I'll pay you more than you could get from any score, and he's like, all right, I'll do it. Even Mirror Master's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? We have some banks to rob, and he's like. He's like, no, man, I've got a job.
Let's see, was there more?
I mean, this episode was crazy emotional too.
Okay, that was it.
It was so well put together, and like the way that Barry sees, his mom in the past, and the Flash says no, like stay back, like it's not, you can't force this Flashpoint thing just yet.
Yeah,
I'm glad they didn't do some like set up some sort of Flashpoint thing for season 2.
the whole episode, I was thinking like, I really hope Barry doesn't change
The past.
Yeah,
I mean that would have been bad.
well, everything would have been different, and I felt it would have totally cheapened everything that's happened so far.
Yeah.
Totally.
But I highly recommend, if you haven't watched The Flash yet. So when I watch that show, I don't know. I just feel like it's one of the best shows that's out there.
really good.
Everyone rants about Daredevil, but I mean, Daredevil was okay. The Flash like fucking knocked it out of the ballpark this season, man.
I feel like they're totally different though. Like a hero like Daredevil is kind of like, he's got his ninja sticks and whatnot, and he's blind, but it's like the Flash has the Speed Force, man.
Well, okay, all DC's characters are fucking OP.
Yeah.
Like, they're way more, like, let's put Marvel heroes against the DC heroes. Like, who do you would put Captain America
Hulk
against...
versus Solomon Grundy. I think Hulk wins.
But Solomon Grundy is like... I mean, you can't really compare the Hulk to Solomon Grundy, even though they are similar.
They're similar, yeah, but Solomon's a zombie, and Banner's an experiment gone wrong.
Put the Hulk up against someone like fucking Superman,
But,
or
and that's been one of the most debated fights of all time, is who wins, Superman versus the Hulk. It's kind of a big deal. I think it's pretty much a draw.
No, Superman's way more powerful, dude. Superman has moved planets.
No, I know, but Hulk can't be destroyed, dude.
I mean, but
he can't be killed.
Yeah, so then Superman would take him to some sector of space and like lock him away, or he would work with the Flash and throw him into an alternate dimension.
But what if the Hulk was able to get his hands on kryptonite?
But I don't think he would.
What I'm saying is Superman has a weakness and the Hulk really doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, the Hulk does have a weakness, doesn't he? Like
Not really.
some kind of radiation or some shit?
No, well, his weakness is like...
They could put him on a different planet, man. And
Yeah.
like just, like an uninhabited planet and stick him there for the rest of time.
Which actually happens to him.
Well, Planet Hulk is not uninhabited. He finds a way back. But, okay, Iron
what
Man
about-
versus Batman. Batman is way smarter than Tony Stark, dude. As far as, like, fighting...
Well, yeah, in terms of fighting,
Actually,
yeah, but
they're both, like, geniuses.
They both have genius-level intellects, that's for sure.
But Tony Stark was never in the League of Assassins and doesn't know, like, 180 different ways, or different, like, martial arts and ways to kill people. And
I think, yeah, the edge will definitely go to... I don't think that's a good matchup, though.
Okay, so who
I'd
would
say
you...
Batman versus Captain America is a better matchup.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
And I think
Captain
Batman,
America might have the edge there, though.
if Batman can't find a weakness to exploit, then yeah.
But then again, Batman always has
He
like
always
a
finds
weakness.
the weakness.
You could put Batman probably against anyone.
Yeah.
And he's just such a badass.
Well, he's one of the few... It goes to show, man, like, Batman goes toe-to-toe with Superman, and he doesn't even have any powers, you know?
yeah.
Like, it's
Okay, wait. Black Canary versus Black Widow.
Black Canary.
Easily.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then again, Black Widow uses guns.
Yeah, but Black Canary has the Canary Cry.
Yeah, okay.
Green Arrow versus Hawkeye.
Green Arrow, I think, because
That's
he's
a
got
tough one, man.
Green
I feel like they're pretty evenly keeled.
Yeah, well, but Green Arrow has all the trick arrows. Hawkeye doesn't have those.
True, but he has, like, explosive arrows and shit.
Yeah, but I mean,
Wouldn't you say Hawkeye is, like, more prone to use lethal force than Green Arrow?
Green Arrow's killed a bunch of people, man.
In the show?
No, in the actual comics as well.
Yeah, but he's definitely... Hawkeye's more, like, he's a secret agent, you know? I don't know.
Who would you pit against Martian Manhunter?
I'd put Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. And I feel like they'd be pretty evenly keeled as well.
Are they psychic?
Miss Marvel has... shape-shifting abilities.
MODOK versus Hector Hammond.
MODOK.
Yeah, MODOK is badass. MODOK is like one of the characters I have to give it to in the... We talked about this the other day, though.
Thanos v. Darkseid, no Infinity Gauntlet.
Darkseid, easily.
Yeah?
Dude, Darkseid would crush... Dude, he has the fucking gamma beams.
The Omega Beams?
Or the... Oh, yeah. What was I thinking of? Yeah, the Omega beams.
You're thinking of the whole...
Oh, yeah, gamma radiation. Yeah, no, he has the Omega beams.
Yeah.
Darkseid is super OP, man.
Yeah.
Like he's threatened the universe several times, but Thanos has too.
Anti-Monitor versus Galactus.
Okay, well, we talked about this the other day, or we talked about this a couple weeks ago. That's such an even fight.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but the Anti-Monitor is, I mean, okay, so they said that you would have to starve Galactus, because Galactus has to eat worlds or something like that,
So,
right?
yeah, if their battle continued on for hundreds of years and whatnot, and eventually Galactus had destroyed everything, he would start to lose his power. Whereas the Anti-Monitor really doesn't need any of that.
The Galactus has heralds, though.
True. He's got, Silver Surfer and a bunch of other people who fight for him.
There's really no characters that... Oh, I guess you could put Nova Corps against Green Lantern Corps.
I don't feel like that's a fair fight.
Green Lantern Corps would
wins.
ace them.
If you put Nova versus Hal Jordan, maybe we're talking a fair fight there.
Or, like, Guy Gardner.
Yeah,
Jon Stewart.
Probably.
I think Kyle is too OP. He's fucking Space Jesus.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I think, like, the DC characters as a whole are way more powerful than the Marvel characters. It's like we said, DC characters, or DC comics are about superheroes that try to be human, whereas the Marvel comics are about human people that become superheroes.
Yeah, totally.
And so there's a difference there.
Yeah. You want to move on? So last week we talked about the season finale of Person of Interest and how goddamn good it was.
It was fucking amazing.
CBS has renewed all their programming except for, I think, like CSI or some bullshit. CSI is getting canceled. But
That's crazy.
The weirdest thing about this is Person of Interest was renewed for a 5th season, but only 13 episodes were ordered.
Maybe it's a farce, dude. They can always order more episodes.
They can, but this is really not normal. Because, when Season 1 ended...
What if they do a movie?
Season 1 had 22 episodes, and then they ordered Season 3 with 23, or Season 2 with 23, right? And now they've, Season 3 and 4 both had 23 or 24 episodes, And they were ordered with that. So why... Are we looking at the end of Person of Interest here? Are these going to be the last 13 episodes, and is the story going to come to a close?
Maybe. Which would be kind of sad.
It would be very sad.
That show, they could easily create another villain and keep it going.
Is this indicative of a bigger problem with network television where, shows that are actually really fucking good and deserve to keep going get canceled?
I don't know.
That would be really sad.
It remains to be seen. I highly recommend that you guys check out the finale of Person of Interest, though. That was
Well, if you haven't watched any of it, start from the beginning.
Oh, yeah, totally. Shit. Well, don't just start with the finale. Holy shit. You'd be like, what even is this?
You'd hate it. You'd be like, God, this is so dumb.
Well, it would totally cheapen the rest of the series, because you have, Reese in God mode.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, wait, so what else are we going to talk about? Some Penny Dreadful?
No, not really.
That's been a really good show as well.
Agent Carter was ordered for a 2nd season.
And the Raisins of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Grape Coulson?
That was already been ordered a 3rd season. But this 2nd season of Agent Carter, it's going to air... I don't know when it's going to air, if it's going to air in that break, the Christmas time again. But it's going to have 2 more episodes than it did last season. It's going to have 10 episodes instead of 8.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just a little...
Wait, so there was only 8 episodes of Agent Carter?
It was somewhat of a miniseries, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was 24 episodes as well.
No
that's
way.
That's one of my issues.
24 episodes of that, I probably would have been like, okay, this is...
there's the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is just so slow.
Yeah.
It's 24 episodes. They're each almost an hour long, and you're like, holy fuck.
Well, once you get to the Winter Soldier tie-in, it gets a lot better. And that's episode 18 of season 1.
Still, it's the story takes a while to progress. There's a lot of ancillary bullshit that's happening in the show, and you're like, okay, well, I don't really care about this.
Well, look, you're barely okay. So you're on season 2, episode 9. Episode 10 totally changes the dynamic of the entire show.
So you keep telling me. You told me this literally 70 times.
And the last 12 episodes are going to be so good, man.
Alex watched the first episode of Ray Donovan.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
It was okay. It was good.
Uh-huh.
But I had some issues with it. I felt like for a pilot, it felt a little disjointed. I kind of felt like I had no clue what was going on. I felt like I was thrust into a season 2 story,
Right.
That was basically my only problem.
Are you going to continue watching it?
Yeah. I mean, I've got nothing to watch right now, so
What do you think of his wife? She's like, Ray.
Okay, I felt like his
She's
wife...
from Jersey. Or
Okay.
from Boston.
Can we talk about this? Like, okay, so the show starts, right? And he's, like, all cool with his wife, and they're chill with each other. And literally 10 minutes later, he's, like, cheating on his wife. And I'm like, dude, this is totally not believable. Why is he... Like, what? And then his wife, who went from being, like, some chill lady, is all fucking pissed at him. And she's like, don't come home, Ray. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't know, man.
That's their dynamic for most of the show, dude.
That's annoying.
And what about his dad?
Okay,
Like,
man.
the old man's out. He killed a priest.
Do you want to know what I feel about John Voight as that character?
I feel like John Voight's playing himself.
It's kind of unbelievable. I don't buy into him as that character. I don't know.
I feel like he's like I don't know. Angelina Jolie was like, "You're not my father." I feel like he's probably a terrible father.
But that's not the thing, though. He's like a despicable human being.
Yeah, he's pretty. He gets more likable as time goes on.
And Ray is like, you come near my fucking family, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. And literally 5 seconds later, he's like walking up to the door to Ray's house. I was like, what the fuck?
What about his daughter? His daughter is the most awkward looking like girl I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I know she's a young girl, but that one guy is like, she's beautiful. I'm like, no, she's not.
Who said that?
The other guy who's like,
his brother?
Ray fucked him. Ray was supposed to fix something for him, and he fucked him in the first episode.
Oh, yeah, that guy's a fucking douche.
Because he had a hard-on for that other chick who he was like now cheating on his wife with. And
She's
I
like
want your cock in my mouth, Ray.
Wait, what? Doesn't she have like a seizure?
Yeah, but
She's like making out and he's like, holy shit.
But okay, so she befriends Ray's wife, like to try and fuck with him.
You've only watched the first episode?
Yeah, and
Okay.
and Ray takes her home and she's like, I want your cock inside my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like sucking his dick on the car ride. Oh man, I don't know.
She's like a Disney star.
That show is kind of ridiculous.
It's kind of all over the place. The plot gets more. I don't know. I think that you should continue watching it just so that we can talk about it because I'm already caught up in season 2. There's only one season, right? Or no, there's two seasons.
2, I think.
So season 3 starts in like a month.
Really? That's it?
Yeah. Because this is like what they have in the interim between Penny Dreadful or whatever, I guess.
In between Homeland and
Or
all
yeah,
that
yeah,
other shit.
totally.
Yeah, because
It's got-
Homeland is like regular shows. It starts in October and it goes to like December.
I feel like there's a lot of similarities between the writing on this show, and there's a lot of heavy breathing in this show too.
Really?
I
I don't think I've gotten far enough to see.
I did. Well, in Homeland, there's a lot of like.
Dude, that's the one thing that bothered me about Homeland is like everyone's always breathing so heavy, and I'm like, why did they have to breathe like that into like
the microphone,
the mics? You know, like
it's like it's to make it like more
to emphasize the.
And then Saul is always just like he doesn't have any facial expression. He's always just like looking like.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, he hardly.
The
ever
guy does not
shows any
blink.
emotion.
He doesn't blink either.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
I feel like that's him acting though. Like I don't feel like that's him.
I feel like that's him.
Really?
I feel like him in that show is like him doing that.
Have you? What was he in before?
Mandy Patinkin. He's in fucking Dead Like Me.
And he was in Criminal Minds. He used to be the lead on that show.
Really?
And he didn't have the beard, and like he looked different. I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to tell it's him.
I like that show though, but
Homeland.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that show is like a little bit. He was in the Princess Bride as well. I feel like that show is just a little bit like it's kind of. I feel what you're saying about Ray Donovan, but I feel like Homeland has kind of got that going on too.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a little bit like they thrust you in. It's kind of all over the
feel
place.
like it didn't happen as early though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it wasn't in the pilot.
There's a lot of like cheating on each other though, and like shit. Like you
yeah.
know, there's boobs.
Yeah.
There's like Showtime's like, well, this will like keep the
We got
viewership.
boobs.
We got boobs in this show. We'll keep the viewers
I
entertained.
still feel bad you watched a censored version of Penny Dreadful.
Yeah, that was such bullshit. And I mean, I'm not even gonna say it. I was gonna say you can't even find the uncensored like version anywhere. I tried to like look it up. It's just like a stream of that part. But so this last episode of Penny Dreadful has a little bit more introduction with what's her name, with
The cut
Vanessa.
wife? Oh.
Well, Vanessa's character.
Yeah.
And then I liked the cut wife though.
Yeah,
I
that
thought-
was a really good episode.
It was like sad. Yeah.
You kind of feel bad for her a little bit.
But that's okay. So that is what the fuck is that guy's name that played Brody in Homeland? Damien something or whatever. I don't know. But
Damian Wayne.
that's his wife though, the witch. Like,
Yeah.
and she's becoming like
Madam
more.
Kali, though. Not the cut wife.
No, not the cut wife. That's her sister though.
Yeah.
In the show, so she's becoming more of a threat, and I was, I'm kind of down with that.
Dude, she's creepy. Like, when she's bathing in the blood and, like, smoking that clove cigarette and whatnot.
What about, and she's singing?
Yeah.
What about when she cuts out the fucking baby's, like, heart?
Yeah.
That was
it's
a
ruthless.
fucking hardcore. That show's getting better. And there's also, like, they
I
never
like
picked up
seeing-
on the tranny.
Yeah.
That's inappropriate to say that, but...
I like seeing, like, from the first episode of the season, we saw that scorpion, right? And
Yeah,
we had
and
to
we saw
wait
the
an
origin.
episode, and now we've seen, like, the origin of it, and it was really cool to see that.
It was more emotional when she did it, and she like left it on the rock, and you're like, okay, because she really like loved that woman, like she was her mentor.
Yeah.
It was sad, but and initially I thought the scorpion was like some devil shit that she was doing.
Yeah. So what about what was I gonna say?
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh
dun.
yes, but no, wait, on Penny Dreadful real quick. So when when Sir Malcolm asks her, like, if you know, like, when she was speaking the devil's tongue, and she claims, like, oh, I didn't know what I was saying, like, I was, like...
She definitely knew, because
She definitely knew.
Once heard,
Yeah.
never forgotten.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's going to be real interesting going through the season.
I think that she's going to get more powerful too, or
Yeah.
something. She's either okay. So the cut wife said you're one of the most powerful daywalkers I've ever met. So I think
and she was born that way, whereas the cut wife had to learn.
yeah.
You know?
So she could become a powerful witch.
What
Yeah.
makes me sad so far is, like, there's been very little focus on Ethan this season. And I feel like
The
last
American
season...
Werewolf in London.
Dude, last season he was an awesome character, but
Yeah.
I feel like this season he's kind
Maybe
of...
they can't. Maybe he's doing something else, and they can't have him on every episode or something like that.
But, I mean, this is a 9-episode season. Like, come on.
I don't know, man. It's like the same thing that they have with Amanda Waller in Arrow, there because she's doing some other show, so they can't have her on the show.
Really? I don't.
That's what's-
But I don't feel like we needed more of her.
Well, that's the
I
difference.
do
then,
feel
guess.
like we need more Ethan, though.
Here's an interesting thing, though, about Vanessa. So did you notice? Okay, the cut wife she was scarred with like the star.
She was
the,
branded.
the satanic scar or star or whatever on her back, and Vanessa was scarred with the cross. So maybe we'll see like there's like a difference between like a
Between
battle
them
of
and
good
her.
and evil or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Even
yeah,
though
because I don't feel like Vanessa is inherently evil.
no, she's just got the devil inside of
Yeah,
her.
and she's constantly fighting it, you know?
But she could use that power for herself. Anyway,
So,
this is another show that so last week you were talking about shows that have great music in the very beginning that the Game of Thrones has amazing music.
yeah, I think I'm just tired of it.
Well, we're now in like the sixth. Is this the fifth or sixth season?
Fifth.
Yeah, after 5 seasons of fucking watching the same goddamn. I watched the introduction a couple of times because they changed the introduction with every
Each
season.
season, yeah.
So I've watched it a couple of times just to like see. Oh, okay. There's Marine and there's like
There's relevant cities to each season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the intro's longer now, isn't it?
It may be like 10 seconds long.
No, I think it's like 30 seconds
No.
longer. Oh. Okay.
Did you ever watch the Penny Dreadful one, like, closely?
Yeah.
It's really good.
with like the spider and they changed it for the second season
But
too.
I think the music is the best part of that.
The Homeland introduction is awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's like, what the fuck are you thinking? And there's like weird, I don't know, it just
You know what
feels
I like? Shows that don't have intros.
Yeah. Ray Donovan actually doesn't have one.
Arrow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., neither of them have, like, an intro.
But
like that.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will return in a moment. Like, they have that every time. And it's always Coulson going like, we'll return in a... Like,
Well,
it's
that's
such a-
because it's, like, on TV, so ABC is like, all right, you guys got to go to break now. And then Coulson's like, we will return in a moment.
Do they do that more than once in the episode?
No, it's only once.
It's at the very end.
It's literally, okay, so you know how most shows have like a 1 minute scene at the end after a commercial break? That's what it is.
Okay, so I skipped like literally the first season, like the entire. I didn't even know that. I thought that the episode just ended there, so I would like.
Wow.
Like, well, because it's like the logo or whatever. I thought it was done. You know.
Totally.
Anyway, so we just talked about Game of Thrones. There's some hot controversy that.
Real quick, warning. Spoiler warning. This is going to be the last topic we talk about, so if you don't want to hear about last week's episode of Game of Thrones, tune away now. Go. Leave us. Be gone. Okay.
It is known.
It is known that we are about to discuss spoilers.
Cersei is a cunt.
Okay, so all the controversy over the last week's episode is about the very last scene where Ramsay rapes his newlywed wife, Sansa. And okay,
this is like a total SJW thing.
Well, okay, do you want to?
It wasn't even that crazy. I've seen worse rape scenes on TV.
But the reason why people hate it is because Sansa never marries him in the books. And that never happens. So everyone was like, "Oh, the showrunners are just like they just wanted to add a gratuitous rape scene just for like shock factor."
Okay, well I get that.
Yeah, but see, that scene affected me less than the Tyrells being taken away.
Oh yeah, me too.
Because I'm like, oh my god, this what? And everyone's like, oh, Sansa got raped, and I'm like, what?
But it was so like honestly, it wasn't even. I feel like it wasn't even really for shock value. Like they were like, okay, well this could be a good part of the story or something like that. But so it was such a small part. It was at the very end. It lasted like 30 seconds.
I was totally hoping that when Sansa was undressing, she was going to whip out a knife and stab his ass in the throat,
or like in the eye,
or
something.
Theon would have killed him.
Yeah, Theon
because
watched.
you see
Theon
him,
is so fucking lame, dude.
You see him, like, he's struggling with this. Even when he was trying to be a good Ironborn lad, he was struggling with that. And now it's like, you know, Ramsay's turned him into a monster that's unrecognizable, you know?
Ramsay is a monster.
Oh, yeah, most totally. A lot of people think he's going to die this season.
I hope so.
I would be happy.
I hope he dies tonight. Like, no bullshit. I hope he dies. I mean, no one likes... The entire House of Bolton should just be exterminated. They suck.
Well, okay, so all that is kind of coming to a head now, because Littlefinger's gotten permission to take back...
Make me the Warden of the North.
Dude, he's such a slippery fuck.
I like him.
I feel like when people say you can't kill Ramsay because he's the villain, I don't think Ramsay is the villain. I think he's just an evil fuck. But Littlefinger, that guy is a manipulative... You know, he's a true villain, I think.
Yeah, but I think he's into Sansa though.
Of course he is, because he was in love with her mother. But
so he wants to bang Sansa.
But this just goes to show he's willing to tell Cersei where Sansa is. Even that alone puts her in danger. But he doesn't fucking care. Because
but I think he holds all the cards. Like,
yeah,
he kind of does because he's got all of the knowledge. And he knows exactly how much to pay out, you know, and to turn people against each other, to you know, keep the cards in his hands, or even get more cards in his hands.
What about Tommen, man? Because I was so psyched for him
to
become
a little
king,
bitch, dude.
And now
he's a good king, but
he's a fucking little cunt.
He's a little bit. No, he's not. He's just a bitch, dude.
Dude, he let them take his wife away. Like, come on, what kind of king are you, man?
Oh yeah, I forgot about. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah,
that was so fucked up. I hope that. Do you think that she's gonna die?
What's even more fucked up is that he let his mom manipulate him into signing the order to let the Faith Militant come back. You know?
Yeah, but he's the king. Like, he could easily just overrule that still.
But he's such a puss boy king that, like, he's not, you know?
I mean, doesn't he love, what's her name, Marjorie?
I think he does.
So I mean, why doesn't he,
they've done the deed. I mean, what's going on
Why
here?
doesn't he fucking throw Cersei to the dogs and say, he thought about sending her back. He should just do it.
He was trying to, but then she doesn't want to go.
Yeah, but he's the king.
And she's like...
She's the queen mother.
One of my favorite scenes from last week's episode is when the Lady Olenna... I'm so glad she's back. She's an awesome fucking character.
Yeah.
And
she's gonna raise some hell, I think.
And she's trying to talk to Cersei, and she's like... Cersei is like, well, if it isn't the famous tart-tongued Queen of Thorns... and she goes, oh, well, if it isn't the tart Queen Cersei... and it's like, come on, Lady Olenna just says badass shit like that.
Yeah, well, she's kind of another character that's just super... Like, she's kind of OP.
And the way she talks about Tywin being gone, it's like she never liked Tywin. No one liked Tywin, but they respected him. And now, like, no one respects Cersei. You know?
No one respects Tommen.
Yeah.
No one respects him. I mean, he like stood down for the fucking what were they called? The Faith Guard or
The Faith
Militant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he stood down for that. So I don't know. I'm excited about what happens tonight. They're really good about building things. We didn't talk about. Are you going to change the subject?
Oh no! Look, real quick, the rape scene. So, people were complaining about it on Twitter, and one of them, who was very vocal, U.S. Senator Claire McCaskill.
Oh shit!
She goes, "Okay, I'm done Game of Thrones. I'm done Game of Thrones." This just goes to show what's wrong with Congress.
I'm done Game of Thrones.
Water Garden, stupid, gratuitous rape scene, disgusting and unacceptable. It was a rocky ride that just ended. And
what? So she's not going to finish the season because of her rape scene?
At Mix It with Missa said, "Oh look, another rape scene that wasn't in the books. I'm about to stop watching #Game of Thrones."
Why?
At Stephen Meyer, so mad right now. There was absolutely no reason whatsoever to invent that rape scene. They should be ashamed.
Someone on Tumblr was like, they should have put a trigger warning before, like, the game. Like, why would they?
That's
like,
dumb.
That's HB fucking O. Like, why would they do that?
At a book olive? Oh yes, Game of Thrones. It was such a good idea to write in a rape scene that doesn't happen in the books. I'm pretty much done. So, Sophie Turner, who plays Sansa, went to Twitter and she goes, "When I read that scene, I kind of loved it." I mean, that just goes to show, like, what kind of... like
people are stupid out there, man.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so Grant Gustin replied to this guy on Twitter who was like, The Flash, the season was okay, but I can't stand how they're promoting gay propaganda. And Grant responded with, "You're an idiot."
Yeah. I mean, seriously, it's like the people who were watching Walking Dead and then they're like, "Oh, two guys kissing? I'm totally done with this show." And it's like, okay, so wait. You were fine with zombie brains and all this gratuitous violence, but as soon as two guys share a kiss, you're out of here?
Right.
Like, and they're like, "Oh, but my kids were watching." Your kids were watching the other shit?
Yeah,
like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
And I mean, it's now Ireland has
fully legalized
gay marriage. So I mean, it's socially acceptable. Like, get the fuck over yourselves, guys.
Yeah. Oh, it's also fair to note that Ireland is like the size of a small U.S. city.
Right.
So it's like,
I mean,
there's U.S. cities who have legalized gay marriage.
Right.
I'm talking about in terms of people,
It's
numbers.
but it's more socially acceptable than it ever was. And I mean, it's fucking. I mean, if you're gonna go watch a Tarantino movie and you're upset about a rape scene in Game of Thrones, you need to get the fuck over it.
Well, and
It's fiction.
Yeah.
It's all fiction. It doesn't mean, just because you watch that doesn't mean it's going to happen. I mean, if you get triggered by something like that or whatever, then don't fucking watch Game of Thrones. I mean, there's way worse things that have happened.
The problem with it is...
Not that rape is okay, but...
everyone's got a platform to voice their opinion now. So it's like... everyone loves the second screen culture. I hate it. If I'm watching something like Game of Thrones, my phone is most definitely not out. But one thing people love nowadays is, like, the second screen. It's like, oh, I can do trivia about the episode, or like, oh, let me tweet about this episode,
Right.
And it's like, that lends to this shit that we have right now,
Okay, so we didn't get to talk about this, and this is just another show that ended. I want to touch on this really quick, if we're okay with finishing up on the Game of Thrones stuff.
Okay.
What did you think of the season finale of Supernatural?
Oh, yeah. It was good. I didn't have a problem with it.
I'm so glad that Crowley's not dead.
I love that Dean prepared like a meal for Death.
He was like, "It's good."
Yeah. And someone on the subreddit was like, "I love how the last meal Death ate was like Dean's chili con queso."
I can't believe Dean killed Death.
Yeah.
The next season is going to be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be off the chain, man.
I feel like it was kind of stupid, though, because, like, okay, we know Sam loves Dean. We all know it, but when Death is like, okay, you'll let the darkness out, and Sam is, like, talking shit, he's like, "Oh, the darkness! Ooh, like, I'm so scared."
Yeah, but
like,
Dean was like, "Yeah, the darkness. It doesn't sound good, does it?" That doesn't sound... No, he was like, "The darkness, what is that?" Sam was like, "The darkness, what is that?" And he was like, it's called the darkness. It can't be good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was kind of hoping that he would transfer the mark to Sam, or like they would both have it or something and just be super
that would have
OP.
been interesting.
But now they don't have the mark, and it's. I mean, I'm so sick of this whole like conflict between the brothers of like them trying to save each other.
It's getting old.
Like now they have a threat that's, I mean,
I hope this next
Lucifer
season is
level, I guess. Again, like end of days level threat, and I'm sick of fucking the way that they've been using Castiel. And now there's like a conflict between Sam. Sam was just so fucking dumb in this last season, man.
You know, I feel like this season was better than like the last 3 before it, though.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but Sam was. I mean, I'm over Sam. Like Sam should start drinking demon blood again.
Honestly, I feel like next season needs to be the last season.
What's
do.
what season was this?
10.
So it's going to be 11?
The 11th season.
They'll probably do like 13 seasons, to be honest.
Well, the people from the CW said they want to milk it as long as they can.
They should, but they should fucking write it well. Like,
but it needs to have a good ending, man. And I feel like we're getting farther and farther away from the possibility of that happening.
no, I don't think so. I think that let's fucking bring Bobby back. Like, let's fucking, I don't know, listen to, like, the people, like, what they're saying, you know? Like, a lot of people have said, we want to see Bobby again.
Yeah.
You know, I want Bobby to come back. Like, I was over Dean being some fucking bastard with the mark. Like, that, this season got really hard to watch towards the end, but, and then Rowena, it was like, oh.
I like Rowena, though, man.
I like Crowley. I'm glad Crowley's not dead.
Honestly.
Crowley's a badass
I
again.
like Crowley's one-liners, but I feel like Rowena is more powerful than him. Like, Crowley was just a 300-year-old demon who managed to take over Hell. Like, that just goes to show what a shitty state Hell was in. It was taken over by a lower demon.
Yeah, but Crowley was also pretty hardcore at one point. And then they were like, okay, let's make him buddy-buddy with the Winchesters.
Yeah, but honestly, like, Rowena at the end of that shit, when she's like, she puts them both down, an angel and the king of hell, and it's like, this is what a real witch can do with real power, you know? I feel like she's badass, man.
Yeah,
I like her.
I like her too, but this whole, like, mommy doesn't love me thing.
But, yeah, but that's Crowley's problem, not hers. She doesn't give a shit about him.
Yeah, I know, but that's still part of the dynamic.
What
like,
about,
they need to either like, they shouldn't have ever had that whole thing where she's like his mother. It just didn't make sense. Like they could have introduced her. They could have introduced her as a badass. Well, they like the way they did introduce her as a badass character and just had her, like, you know, recurring. They didn't have, like, it really served no purpose that she was Crowley's mother.
Well, I think a little bit. Like, it's what made Crowley realize that, you know,
like, he needed to be evil again?
Well, yeah, that was Sam trying to kill him, but it was his mother that wanted him killed, you know?
Well, didn't she tell him that he lost his edge?
Oh, yeah.
And so that's when he was, like, throwing darts into that guy or whatever. Yeah. And he was like, good form.
Good form, sir.
And, I mean, okay, so you're going to hate on me for this, but Charlie's dead, and I'm so glad. I don't want to see any more of Charlie and her, like... Charlie's always, like, I
liked her, but I feel like
she was the most, such a fucking, like...
a simple character. And
she served no fucking purpose except for just being like... But, okay, so she
deciphered the codex.
Yeah, but they could have easily gotten rid of Charlie or just not brought Charlie back and had Bobby come back. And Bobby could have deciphered the codex because Bobby was super fucking smart and, like, had all these resources and shit. But
I thought it was because she was a computer hacker.
Yeah, but Bobby could have easily called someone. Like, Bobby would have been like, I know this.
Remember that other guy who was a computer hacker?
No.
He was kind of Dean's friend. Dean called him this season and asked him for something, and he was like, can't you ask Sam? Do you remember that guy?
Yeah,
it was during the Leviathan season.
Yeah, I remember that. Didn't that guy die?
Did he?
I thought he died, dude. I remember that. They were like, he was like hacking in his trailer.
Yeah.
I remember that, dude. The Leviathan season was one of the worst seasons of Supernatural.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, the fans of Supernatural are really forgiving. I'll forgive this season, but I just want to see, like, okay, one of the best parts of this season, as a recap, was the Bobbies are surly. The Bobbies are surly. Like, yeah. I would love to see Bobby come back. Like, maybe they have to save him. It takes 2 episodes or 1 episode or something like that as, like, a side plot, and he comes back and helps them out again. I mean, some of my best memories of Supernatural are with Bobby.
Yeah, totally.
He was their father figure. And the boys without a father figure are just going to fucking bicker at each other. And then there's Castiel, who's lost his way.
So when Death talks about the darkness, right, and he's like, it took God and his whole horde of angels to, you know, to imprison the darkness, right? So,
darkness!
So, like, are we going to see, like, a war on that scale? Or... What?
Oh, please, no more angel wars.
Bear with me. Like, someone was like, Okay, so you know how the season ended with them like in the car and the darkness coming for them?
Yeah.
And they get enveloped by it and then it ends?
Uh-huh.
So someone was like, on the subreddit, someone was like, all right, this is how season 11 is going to start. Chuck is going to show up as a full-on prophet and like protect them from the darkness. That would be awesome. I would love to see Chuck come back.
Yeah, Well, Chuck did return, didn't he? For like one episode? He's still around.
I don't remember that.
Like, isn't he like an author still, or like he's doing something?
Carver Edlund?
He's doing something, but he's like not. I mean, he's just staying away from the Winchesters and like from everything else. Is he God?
No, he's a prophet, dude.
Okay, so we've never seen God.
Nah,
Do you think we'll ever see God?
probably not.
You don't think so? What about maybe? What if the darkness opens up the pit and Lucifer and like Michael?
Or what
come
if
back?
they open the pit to have Lucifer and Michael fight the darkness? You know?
Lucifer. You can't trust him though.
Yeah, I know.
King of lies.
But it took Lucifer to fight them last time, you know?
To fight who?
The darkness. Lucifer had the Mark of Cain originally.
So Lucifer had to put it away.
Okay, so God...
And then Lucifer will be the darkness should maybe just be like half of a season.
According to Death, God and the horde of angels, including Lucifer and Michael, fought back the darkness, right? And so they needed to imprison the darkness, and they used the mark to do it, right?
Yeah.
So they put it on an angel, because that was, the logical course. But it fucked up Lucifer, right? And it made him...
It made him fall from grace.
Exactly.
Okay,
and then he gave it to Cain.
I like that idea. So what if... we're like the CW executives right now. Okay, so what if... Lucifer comes back, and then he's like, what happened to hell? Like, and then Crowley's like the king of hell, so...
But Lucifer never cared about hell.
He didn't?
No, he hated hell. He thinks the demons are disgusting.
Really?
Yeah, he talks about that.
Oh.
That's why Crowley wanted to help them, because it was like... not Crowley, who was the other demons back then? Like...
That was like Alistair. And
but they all wanted Lucifer to come back because and Ruby, they're like, oh, he's our father and whatnot.
Yeah.
But who was I think it was Crowley who said, like,
Yellow Eyes.
Crowley was like, yeah, Lucifer despises us, and he even talks about it when Lucifer was around.
Crowley helps them kill Lucifer, doesn't he? That was when Crowley first arrived, like when they met him at his mansion in L.A. or some shit.
Yeah, some shit like that.
Yellow Eyes is the main bad guy in Ray Donovan.
Oh, really? The actor?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It comes in later. He's a badass.
Well,
anyway, sorry,
we've
we've carried on for quite a while, yeah, so that's our show.
If you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to go on iTunes and leave us a review. It would
Rate,
be
comment, and subscribe.
Most appreciated. There will be a YouTube video, but it's not going to have any actual video to it. It's just going to be the audio file.
So you're watching this and you already know this.
Yeah. Plug shit.
Rape, comment, and subscribe. Don't rape.
Plug your shits.
That's terrible. I'm Downlow'd. DOWNLOW''D. You can find more information about me at IamDownload.com. Check me out on SoundCloud, SoundCloud.com/download. And listen to my new single, Buried. Or hit me up on Facebook, Facebook.com/officialdownload. Shoot me a tweet if you feel like talking at Download here. And I've got some interesting stuff coming up this next week. I've got a mix on iedm.com that you guys can go ahead and check out. And if you have music choice at home, tune into my music choice mix if you like the dance music and stuff. Alex is going to tell you about Macro Records and all the cool stuff that we have going on right now.
Don't forget to check out our official website. This is macro.com. It's a hub for all things macro. If you want to tweet us or the show, don't forget to use @Macro Records and the hashtag #AskSnoo if you got a question for Snoo.
You can't see him, but he's here.
He is most definitely here.
Janine is also here.
Snoo never leaves.
He's right next to us.
That's
right
our
next to
show.
me.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Good day.
Good morrow.
Good morrow. It is known.
Gonna test it out, gonna push the limit. 'Cause I'm up so high, sky ain't a limit. We sleep in the morning, still drinking when it's dawning. It's the life we lead. Blowing clouds out the crowd with the music up loud. Who you want to be? We sleep in the morning, still drinking when it's dawning, it's the life we lead. Blowing clouds out the crowd with the music up loud, who you want to be. Hey. We sleep in